Alright guys, it's the edition of the 2024 NFL Super Wildcard weekend preview. We've got 6 games to go through over 3 days. Yup, it's the weekend. We got all the games to go through. Let's go, guys. Playoffs are here. Gonna start it off. Let's go. 2024 NFL Super Wildcard weekend. Here's the preview. Of course, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the 2024 NFL Super Wildcard Weekend Preview. We have, of course, all 6 games spanning from today all the way to Monday to go through, of course, for that Monday night. But yeah, of course, first things first, we'll go through the schedule, the pregame, all that crap, so you can just see, like, again, what's on, what's going to be covering the game, so you don't, again, miss all that crap. Then, of course, we'll get into the actual games. First things first, though, again, on Saturday today, postseason NFL countdown, I think might already, what it's called. That comes out at, right now on ESPN. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. NFL Game Day View will start in an hour on NFL Network as well. So again, if you're gonna want to tune in for that, again, NFL Network will have that. Again, CBS has their They have like a NFL Films. There's something with CBS. So again, like week by week, they have like a show for the playoffs. So you might want to tune into that. That'll be pretty cool. It'll be again on CBS, leading you all the way up to the Super Bowl. Because of course, whatever network has the Super Bowl does have this series. So again, pretty cool series. Like definitely recommend checking it out. Of course, NFL Game Day morning for again Wildcard Weekend will be at noon on NFL Network on Saturday. On Saturday, not Sunday, but on Saturday, because again, it'll be a later game. Football in America leading you up to their doubleheader will be at 3 o'clock on NBC, of course. Football in America, the Peacock exclusive, which I'll talk about in a minute, will be on 7:30, because again, coverage begins then, again, probably right after that the first playoff game. And then on Sunday, you've got NFL Game Day morning, as usual, at 9 a.m. Eastern, as usual on Sunday. Postseason countdown will also be at 10 on ESPN. The other pregame show will start at 9, if you watch that show, not at 8 this week, it'll just be at 9 on CBS Sports Network. Of course, leading up to the NFL today, which will be at noon on CBS. And then obviously after that, again, when we get into later games, we got Fox and Mo Sunday at 4 on Fox. So again, if you're going to just watch that Cowboys game, the pregame starts at 4 o'clock. The OT, which is the post game for Fox, will be at 7:30, as well as Football in America at 7:30 on NBC. And then for Monday, it's like the usual stuff, guys. I think we might have a preview on NFL Network. I think that'll probably start at 7. And then obviously you'll have Monday Night Countdown, which I'll talk about when we get to that Monday night wildcard game. That's all I got for the pregame, guys. Again, we'll look at the bracket. The Ravens and Niners are the teams on the bye. Again, CBS Sports will have CBS Sports will have Super Bowl 58. But with all that said, that's really all I got for that guys. Again, Ravens, Niners do have the bye. Again, we'll get into all the games, starting out with a doozy to kick off the playoffs. Old Joe Flacco against the rookie sensation. Alright, you'd make $1 billion if you predicted that Joe Flacco versus CJ Stroud would be the first game to open the playoffs. Yeah, the Texans are, of course, an aberration this year. The Browns, same type of thing. Good storybook game here, Browns and Texans. Let's go, guys. Kicking off the playoffs. Alright guys, and kicking off the playoffs, we have a battle between 2 teams that met on Christmas Eve as they meet again. Here, again, the quick kick off the playoffs as the 5 seed in the AFC, the Cleveland Browns, who got to this spot with a 4-game winning streak in December to end the season, of course, before the meaningless Week 18 game. Facing off against the Texans, who, of course, battled all year and are not supposed to be here, but they are, of course, after a 3-13-1 season. And having a chance with this game to win as many games as they've won the past 3 seasons. Of course, it's been a train wreck of past 3 years for the Texans. But, of course, now, again, shockingly, won the AFC South, and they are now the 4th seed, thanks to the Titans. But, yeah, they, of course, are the 4th seed in the AFC. Again, looking at it, Joe Flacco for the Browns. Again, they signed him in week 13, and then he started for them ever since. Obviously, not last week, but if you take it out of the way, he went 4-1 as a starter in the regular season, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He was great for them, and now he's, again, playoff Joe Flacco. Again, he's won a Super Bowl. Last time he was in the playoffs was 2014. He upset the Patriots. No, not that year. Whatever. He's upset the Patriots in the past. He's legit. Like that in the playoffs, Joe Flacco has been. But again, it's been 10 freaking years since he's been in the playoffs. Texans, again, CJ Stroud, again, will probably win Rookie of the Year. He's been great this year. Again, the Texans are what is called last in the league in turnovers. They don't turn over the football at all. Again, looking at it, this game will be at 4:35. That's when I'll probably expect it to start. It'll be on NBC, NFL Plus, NBC Sports app. More Peacock, of course, we get to Peacock in a minute, as well as again, the NBC Sports app and stuff like that. Again, I think it might be an Universal. That might be now on Sunday night. But yeah. Again, first game of the playoffs, 5 seed versus 4 seed. Looking at the wild card, the announcers for this game, though, you will have, no, this is the wrong one. Give me a sec here. All right, we're good. Announcing this game will be Noah Eagle, Ty Blackledge, and Catherine Tappan. So, again, they called that game against the Steelers and Bengals back in Week 16. So, again, same type of thing, but they will kick off the playoffs. That's kind of crazy, though. Noah Eagle calling a playoff game. But, yeah, that's really all I got for you guys with this game, guys. Again, you look at it, Browns and Texans played, again, back on Christmas Eve. The Browns completely stomped the Texans, but, again, there was a huge asterisk with that game because, again, CJ Stroud was not ready to go. The Browns, again, with that win, really got a shot, really made the playoffs with that game, and obviously now they got to go back to Houston again 3 weeks later and look to do the same exact thing, but this time with, of course, a lot more meaning to the game. Amari Cooper also went off in this game. That's also very important to know. But with that said, let's get right into the Browns' projected starting lineup. And for the Browns, Joe Flacco, quarterback. Jeff Driscoll will back him up. Deshaun Watson, Jakeem Grant Sr., Jedrick Wills, Dawson Dean, Jack Conklin, DeJuan Jones, Maurice Hurst, Anthony Walker Jr., Grant Delpit, Ryan McLeod. Those dudes, again, will be on IR and will not be playing in this game. Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt are there. Running back, Strong Jr., their third string, who does get some carries here and there, is questionable. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and David Bell are receivers. Cedric Tillman and Michael Woods, two of the receivers, are both out for this game. David Njoku, Harrison Bryant are their tight ends with Jerron Christian, Joel Bitonio, Ethan Pokic, Wyatt Teller, and James Hudson III across the offensive line. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Alex Ray, and Ogbo Okoronkwo will go off the edge with Dalvin Tomlinson and Jordan Elliott at defensive tackle. J.O.K., Tony Fields, and Sione Takitaki are their linebackers. Denzel Ward, Juan Thorner, both starters in the secondary, questionable for this game. Martin Emerson Jr., of course, their man-to-man stud, will get a lot of snaps in this game because, again, he is their boundary guy. Gary Newsome is their slot. Dan Bell will be their strong safety again with their Grant Delpit on IR. And Mike Ford is also questionable. Cameron Mitchell will probably get some snaps as well. Dustin Hopkins, their kicker, is out, so Riley Patterson, that is also important to note. Again, Dustin Hopkins has made a lot of clutch kicks for them this year. Riley Patterson will get that those opportunities in this game. Corb War, because at least they have a punter in this game, I guess. James Prochet will be their returner, again, with Pierce Strong Jr. questionable. And Charlie Hewlett is also their long snapper. And for the Texans, they got CJ Stroud at quarterback, of course, with Devin Singletary and Damian Pierce in the backfield. Nico Collins, John Mechie, and Xavier Hutchinson are the healthy receivers. Of course, take Dell and Jesse Matthews on IR. Of course, you got Noah Brown and Robert Woods, both questionable. They're two healthier, I guess, receivers. Dolan Schultz and Brevin Jordan, tight end. Of course, you got a lot of 5 offensive linemen on IR, as well as 5 guys in the secondary. Hassan Ridgeway, defensive lineman, and what's called Trey Harrison and Tegan Quintariano, basically both tight ends, are both on IR. Of course, Andrew Beck is questionable at fullback. Larry Mitz, again, their offensive line outside of that, though, the normal guys, again, really the only guy to know is probably Charlie Heck, of course, with Juice Scruggs, the rookie, playing pretty well. Meanwhile, looking at this defense, all 4 starting defensive linemen are all questionable. There's no way all of them are going to be out. But worst case, I don't know, Maji Sanders, Kurt Hennig, Khalil Davis, and Derek Burnett will start. Dylan Horton will be out for this game, though, as well as Jerry Hughes. Christian Harris, Denzel Perryman, and Blake Cashman are your linebackers with Steven Nelson, Kader Hallman, Desmond King, and Derek Stingley Jr. all at corner. Jalen Petrie, Gianna Houston Carson will start at safety, of course, with the 2 vets backing them up. Kyrie Fairbairn, Cameron Johnson are your kicker and punter. Your returners are Desmond King and Damian Pierce, and John Weeks is also your long snapper. All right, what I want to see from Cleveland is 30-plus points. Again, if they're able to do that, again, it would put a lot of pressure on that Texans offense to make things happen, especially, again, going up a rookie quarterback. And I understand your defense has been kind of bad on the road, but the simple truth is, guys, your road defense after that Rams game has been decent. It hasn't been good, but it's been decent. So if you can have that out of you guys, you should be fine. Again, you look at it, really only one road game in that stretch, which was, again, against Houston. Because, again, they did have the 2-game homestand in Week 14 and 15. Also a home game in Week 17. So, again, they've only really had one road game. And, again, it wasn't like a great performance. But then, again, they only held the Texans to 7 points for, again, most of the game for the rest of their starters. So, Again, I'm not confident about this defense, but again, they're able to put up 30. I have a hard time believing that this Texans offense will be able to do the same. And of course, Jerome Ford being efficient in Thursday Night Football 2 weeks ago, that was by far his best game of the season. If he can do that again, that would be huge. Amari Cooper also doing what he did on Christmas Eve would also be very good for the cause. Again, he probably won't, but they're going to need something big from him. And of course, Joe Flacco with one or less interceptions. He's going to throw probably one, so I'm not going to completely take that away from him. But again, if he does throw two, they might get beat. It might really hurt them. Defensively, though, Martin Emerson Jr. being on Nico Collins in the slot. Again, Denzel Perryman with him on the boundary. Nico Collins is their best offensive player right now by far. They need, again, outside, of course, C.J. Stroud and, of course, Larry Tunsil. But the point is, he's their best weapon. You got to make sure he doesn't make too many big plays, because if he does, again, it'll be really hard to stop all the other crap. Meanwhile, though, again, looking at outside of that, they got to keep C.J. under 150 passing yards. Again, that's really those layered throws to the outside the numbers. Denzel Ward's got to do a very good job with that. And as well, 4+ sacks. Again, getting good consistent pressure on the road has been troublesome for them really ever since what is called that game against who the heck was it again? I think it was week 10. Yeah, even against the Ravens. That was like the last game where I really saw consistent pressure on the road. They've got to do something with that there, and that's really all I got for the Browns, guys. Let's look at the Texans. You guys are home, so again, taking advantage of the what is called momentum would be huge for you guys. But looking at this offense, have Shaq Mason kick out to double Miles when he's running duo on second down. Again, when they're going to want to run the football, Myles Garrett's just complete wreck it. If they can't have Shaq Mason really kicking it out there to help out whoever that, again, Charlie Heck. Again, that's just huge, because again, Charlie Heck's not going to be able to block him one-on-one or even penetrate. Again, best case, he holds him for a second. Devin Singletary's got to have some really good plays after yards per carry under after contact. This is a crazy number, but if he's able to do this, I really think this offense will have a lot of nice downfield passing opportunities. And speaking of that, Nico Collins over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns would give them a very good shot to match what Amari Cooper will do for that Browns offense. Moving over their defense, though, Derek Stingley Jr. under yard separation allowed and man per snap. I don't care who that he's guarding, but whoever is guarding cannot get open. He's got to do a very good job at minimizing how much he lets off the what it's called at the top of the route. Jalen Petrie also having forcing a fumble / an interception. Any sort of turnover by him, I really think he needs to make 2 of those type of plays. Again, over the top, he made one a couple weeks ago, again, against Joe Flacco. If you can do that again, you could switch momentum. And obviously, look at Will Anderson. He's a rookie. I'm not expecting too much out of him, because again, they're way ahead of schedule right now. But if he can have 5 tackles and / pressures, that would be big for him. So again, not only he can get confidence, but this defense can at least know that someone will get a little bit of pressure on third down. That's really all I got for the Texans, guys. Good luck to both these teams today. But until then, we've got a freaking ice bowl in Kansas City. Of course, this game is exclusively on Peacock, and I'll tell you what, everyone is going to be exclusively cold at this game, because holy crap, we got negatives in Kansas City for a Saturday night wildcard game. Yeah, it'll be brutally cold in Kansas City tonight, guys, as we do have a matchup, of course, rematch of that game in Germany. And again, it's going to be just as wild here tonight, of course, with the 6th seed in the AFC, the Miami Dolphins, losers of back-to-back games to cough up the AFC East Division title, and their consequence is having to go into Arrowhead, where it's going to be rocking and really freaking cold. Of course, not just cold, though. We'll get to it in a second. But obviously, that's the biggest factor in this game. But on the other side, you look at the Chiefs. Of course, their offense has had struggles all year. What is called under Patrick Mahomes' record low, 22.7 points per game. That's what it'll end at for the regular season stat line. Of course, they are the 3 seed, though. They still locked up the AFC East with a win 2 weeks ago. Also out at Arrowhead. But of course, I think they've lost like 4 home games, maybe 3 with Mahomes, which is the most he's ever lost here in a regular season. But again, more or less for the Chiefs, guys, in this game, they're going to want to freaking run the Brock, because again, it's going to be freaking cold. And also, they can't really throw the football anyway, so. So really all good for them. Obviously, though, they are also in danger. They are the 3 seed. They're not the 2 seed, so they are also in danger of playing their first ever road playoff game. But another big factor in this game, because again, it is the Peacock Wildcard exclusive. If you don't have Peacock, you're not watching this game, guys. It's simple as that. It's also on NFL Plus. I don't know. I don't even think it is. It's literally just on Peacock. So if you don't have Peacock, guys, you need to get it, because that's the best way I can put it. I think there are tutorials how to download this type of stuff. So if you don't know how to download Peacock, well, you got to download it, and you also have to pay for the streaming service for only, again, it gets stupid. But again, that's what happens when what is it called, NBC spends 110 million just to stream one game, of course, with the Chiefs in it. That's really what was going to happen with this game. Of course, it'll definitely be a very infamous thing with that, but Peacock is going to stream the first ever streaming service playoff game. It's going to be more in the future, guys. There's going to be a point in the future where there's no more cable. It's going to be all on streaming. So don't be too surprised about it. But the game will start at 8. It's going to start at 8. It started like at 7:50 something back in week 16 when they had a game when they had their first ever game on Peacock exclusively. Also, coverage I think will start at 7:30 though. It might not say that, but it'll start earlier. So again, 7:30 again around the time that the Browns and Texans game ends. This is when it'll switch over to Peacock. So, again, throw on Peacock early so you don't miss the start of this game. Announcing it, though, will be Mike Tirico, Jason Garrett, and Kaylee Artung. She's going to want to bundle up for sure. And, here's the weather, guys. So, it says it's going to be 0, but it's going to be around -4 at kick. So, keep that in mind. But the wind, it says 13 miles an hour. There's gusts going up there. And also, the wind chill is going to be -25 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be freaking really, 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 really cold tonight, guys. If you are in Kansas City, if you're going to the game, you need, like, a massive, I mean a massive freaking coat and a huge thing to bundle up your head. Because you're going to freaking get hyperthermia or, I don't even freaking know, frostbite from this. This is bad. It's going to be so cold. There's not going to be many points scored in this game, guys. But, again, it's on Peacock. It's going to make sense like that. Again, these two teams did play back in week 9. Again, it was the 6-2 Dolphins team versus 6-2 Chiefs team, and the Chiefs were able to win that one 21-14. But both offenses only scored 14 points. The Chiefs had a scoop and score that went like 90-something yards to the house. Let's get right into it, though, guys. Here's the Dolphins' projected starting lineup. For Miami, 2, of course, will start. Raheem Mostert is questionable, but he is likely to play. Of course, they still have Devontae Achane and Jeff Wilson Jr. Chris Brooks. Oh, this is the rookie one. Oh, I thought that was someone else. I was about to say. Wait, he's played this year? What the hell? Okay, I've never heard of that guy, but okay. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle will be questionable, but and I heard a report of what it's called. There's some film of him running routes during practice. It's a little rough. But Cedric Wilson Jr., Braxton Berrios are also a receiver. Ike Uzekama is out. There's Mike Julian Hill at tight end though. Alec Ingold is their fullback, with the offensive line looking basically the same. Austin Jackson I think is back, so I guess that's good. Connor Williams and Isaiah Wynn will probably not play the rest of the playoffs, however far they go. Of course, you have Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Zach Sealer across the defensive line. Emmanuel Agba, Melvin Ingram won't start because, of course, the top 2 pass rushers on this football team are both on IR, as well as Cameron Goody and Andrew Van Ginkel, the backups. They've had to dig deep with these dudes. David Long Jr., Duke Riley are defensive linebacker, though, because, of course, Jerome Baker, the franchise middle linebacker, is on IR right now. And, of course, Gene Van Luckenberg, one of the backups, is also on IR. Xavier Howard will not play in this game. Eli Apple will probably start on the boundary again, but it's not going to mean much. Nick Needham will probably get some snaps as well. Cam Smith maybe a snap or two, but then again, he's a rookie. He has struggled at some points this year. Kader KU, I would be surprised if he gets more than 60% of snaps, even though he is their slot and he's played over 80% for a lot of the season. But, guys, again, it's being that cold, I would not be surprised if they bring in a guy like, maybe even Justin Bethel. Jalen Ramsey, of course, on the boundary, though. Both starting safeties are questionable. Brandon Jones, Elijah Campbell are their backups. Yeah, the Dolphins are beaten to hell with these injuries. Jason Sanders, Jake Bailey are their kicker and punter. Their returners, Braxton Berrios, and Blake Ferguson is also their long snapper. All right, for Kansas City, we got Patrick Mahomes, of course, a quarterback, with Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Michael Piron in the backfield. Jared McKinnon, he will be on IR, as well as Sky Moore, Nicky Remigio, Jody Fortson, and Prince Wiegand, Tiga Waganwo. Nazi Johnson, Brian Cook are the other guys in this defense who are on IR. Of course, you got Rashid Rice, Justin Watson, MVS, McCole Hardman Jr. receiver. Kadarius Toney probably won't play because, again, he's inactive the past couple of weeks. Travis Kelce at tight end. The offensive line is basically the same. Ryan Morris will be out, though, the backup. So, again, if whatever reason Donovan Smith was to get hurt, Lucas Niang would probably kick over to left tackle. Looking at this defense, though, of course, you got the normal, typical defensive line. Charles Omenihu could start over Mike Dana at some points in this game. I won't say, like, totally, but sometime. Of course, the linebackers are the same Super Bowl dudes, outside maybe think Drew Tranquil. I don't know if he was. But with Jarius Sneed, Joshua Williams, Trent McDuffie at corner, with Mike Edwards and Justin Reed at safety. I'd also, again, McCole Hardman Jr. I think will probably be a key big player for this game. Of course, Justin Ross is also questionable. But looking at this defense, you got Harrison Butker as your kicker, your punters, Tommy Townsend, Ricky James is of course your returner, and James Winchester will be doing your long snapping. All right, looking at this Dolphins offense, hand warmers. That's the first thing. They got to keep these hands warm. I don't care. Get the most expensive hand warmers you guys can find. I'd send some. I don't freaking know. Intern out there. Someone that needs to get hand warmers for all these dudes. Tua keeping loose with a quick warm up and jogging between drives. Do whatever they can to stay warm. I don't care if it. Never mind. But still, Tua, he's got to figure something out there. Devon Achane bringing some oomph to punish tacklers. I get they have what is called Raheem Mostert, which is big. But guys, he's coming off an injury again. He's not going to be again totally 100%, but he's likely to play. So Devon Achane, he's got to freaking bring the juice this game. Again, he's not really a power back, but I need to see that from him. And of course, blowing by everyone late. Again, everyone's going to be freaking cold. No one's going to want to be out there. No one's going to want to tackle him. He's got to break something big late in the game to keep this team in it, again, if it is close. Defensively, though, Jalen knocking receivers at the top of their routes for potential undercuts, because, again, Mahomes is not going to have everything on these footballs with being so cold. His hand's going to be cold, though, at some point in this game, maybe even frozen. These receivers also won't be catching everything. He's got to be aggressive. Cater Kale being more physical at the catch point, that's really hurt him this year with, of course, the rating he's given up. Hasn't been bad. It's not like he's giving up a ton of separation. It's just that, again, he's not as competitive as he needs to be when the receivers catch the ball. He's got to be there for those plays. As well as Zach Sealer being very good against the run, so that, again, the Chiefs can't get that going, because, again, if they do get that going, the Dolphins are freaking screwed. Now let's talk about these Chiefs. All right, for this Chiefs offense, they got to run the ball 45 plus times, in my opinion, which is, again, it's a huge number, but if that isn't at least 70% of their, game plan, I don't know what else to say, guys. You're not going to throw the ball around the yard in this type of weather. And then also, again, running the ball forward for 225 yards would be very nice, too. 20-plus points, again, will probably keep this game in good hands, as well as, again, having the ball for 45 minutes, which is a very hard task to hit. But, again, if they can get in those third down situations where they favorable spots, they'll convert a lot of those and really drain the clock. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes throwing a touchdown behind the back just for the kicks, as well as being cold. That would be really funny. Defensively, though, the corners being super aggressive for the ball in the air. Again, this is the type of game where, again, Tua's, again, not going to have everything on that football. They got to be very aggressive there. George Karloff is getting one hot look on Tua. Again, basically open look, just going after him and killing him. Because Tua is 0-4 in games where it's under 40 degrees, which is really bad. Also, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. So George Karloff is nailing him. Will really make it hard on him to really want to be out there. And 3 plus 3 and outs in the second half too. Again, getting off the field in that second half, being juiced up, ready to go. It's what this defense really can need to really be dominant in that second half. And that's all I got for this game, guys. Let's go get to our next game, which starts off Sunday, being the Steelers and Bills. Alright, forget about the weather, guys. The Steelers are looking to pull off some more BS as they face it off against the hottest team in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills from Highmark. Alright, and the Steelers have traveled to Buffalo, of course, sneaking into playoffs after a Titans win over the Jaguars that gave them that 7th seed in the AFC. Of course, this is a team that has won 3 straight under Mason Rudolph. Of course, before that, losing 3 straight. It's been a roller coaster of a season, to say the least, for this Pittsburgh Steelers squad. Of course, Mike Tomlin getting that winning record for the every year of his head coaching career. It's going to keep going, but you still look at it, guys. The Steelers are looking to win their first playoff game in 7 years. They haven't done it since 2017. It would be a massive feat to do so. Going into Buffalo, where this is a red-hot Bills team, of course, the 2 seed in the AFC, winning 5 straight, giving themselves a chance last week at winning that AFC East division title, which, of course, they freaking did. And also give them home field if they're able to win this game next week, which, of course, would be big, considering, again, that game could be against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills are in a prime spot to do something this year, considering how they started, of course, 6-6, 5-5, and where they are right now. Again, this game will be at 1 o'clock on CBS, NFL Plus, and Paramount Plus will be your streaming services for this game. As we talked about with the Chiefs game, this game will be cold. The only difference is it'll be a little warmer. It'll be around 22 degrees, and I think, and the wind chill will be around probably freaking 5 degrees. So not good. Again, it says it's gonna be 31 degrees, but guys, it's not gonna be. I'll be just completely honest for you guys. It's gonna be really freaking cold. Again, 34-mile-per-hour winds on average is really, really windy. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as that Monday night game back a couple of years ago when it was this Patriots and Bills, again, a couple years ago, but it could definitely get up there. I doubt it'll be as consistent, though. That was just ridiculous. That was like a freaking historic type of win type of game, but obviously it could be. I'm not going to completely put out the question. Also, it's going to snow, too. There's going to be a good amount of snow in this game, too. They're expecting it, what is it called? At least, I think, 6 inches. It could get up to 10. So, don't be ready for that, guys. As well as looking at the announcers for this game, again, it'll be CBS. So, we'll have Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wilson, again, the pregame as well. But, again, more importantly for this game, you look at it. The Bills have played games recently where it's been inclement weather in Buffalo in a playoff game. Of course, they just had it a couple of years ago when the last time they hosted a wild card game when it was really freaking cold, which is against the Patriots. Also, was on a Saturday night, and of course they won. Last year they hosted this 1 o'clock slot here on wild card weekend, and they'll host it again this year. Also, the last time these two teams played was when Kenny Pickett made his starting debut, and the Bills absolutely slaughtered the Steelers 38-3. Could be a similar game in this one, guys. The only difference is the Bills actually have a running game. Steelers also, though, too. Again, that's how they got to this point. That's all I got for that, though. Let's get right into the Steelers projected. For the Steelers, Mason Rudolph, the quarterback, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren are his running backs. Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, a receiver. Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward at tight end. The offensive line looks as usual, as well as Larry Ogunjobi, Keanu Benton, and Cameron Hayward across the defensive line. TJ Watt, again, spraining that MCL, will be out for this game. You'll see a lot of Marcus Golden and Nick Carabay switching in and out off that edge. Of course, Alex Highsmith is their blindside edge rusher, as well as Landon Roberts and Michael Walker. At linebacker, of course, with Cole Holcomb and Quan Alexander's two starters at some points on IR for this game. Levi Wallace, Patrick Peterson, Shannon Sullivan, and Joey Porter Jr. at corner. Minka is back and healthy and ready to go for this game, as well as DeMonte Casey. Of course, they don't have Keanu Neal, who was basically their starter at some point this season. Chris Boswell is their kicker. Their punters, Presley Harvin, Calvin Austin, Godwin Abuike are their returners, and Christian Kuntz is their long snapper. And for Buffalo, Josh Allen, quarterbacks, James Cook, Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny. Yeah, he's back. In the backfield as well, Ty Johnson being questionable. We'll probably still see Latavius Murray, though. Stephon Diggs, Kalish Keir, Trent Sherfield at receiver. Wait. Oh, he only averaged 3.8. Oh, yeah. He's the oldest back in the league, guys, at 33, if you didn't know that. Just turned, he's going to be turning 34 soon. That's crazy. Gabe Davis is out for this game, though, as well as, again, Dalton Kincaid, tight end. Dawson Knox, who's basically taking a backup role at this point, is questionable for this game, as well as Reggie Gilliam at fullback. Deion Dawkins is questionable. Ryan Van DeMark, he might start. I would not be comfortable with that, but okay. I don't know. Alec Anderson, who the hell knows? David Edwards, Mitch Morse, Cyrus Torrance, of course, has been a very solid rookie, as well as Spencer Brown around that offensive line. Greg Rousseau, Leonard Fournette, Shaq Lawson, AJ Epinesa. You probably will see a little bit of Von Miller as well off the edge. Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver at defensive tackle. Terrell Dotson is questionable. Tyler Matakevich is his backup. Again, he's an old vet on this team. He could probably figure something out. As well as Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams rounding out that linebacker core. Again, some youngins there. That's crazy, though. Matt Milano's the only guy who's, like, somewhat young on this defense line. Terrell Bernard's been great this year. Of course, you still have Tyrell Dotson as well there. He's questionable, though. So, yeah, again, both those guys are young. Yeah, they're pretty good. Of course, Matt Milano's 29, though. And he'll be 30 next year? God damn. Of course, he's out for the year. So, wait. He has a chance to? Oh, that would be nice. It's not going to be this week. Teron Johnson, Dane Jackson, Christian Benford at corner. Of course, Rasul Douglas will be questionable. That is a big question mark there. Taylor Rapp's also out. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are, of course, the safeties. DeMar Hamlin will, of course, get in some part of this game. Of course, being their third safety. Tyler Bass is your kicker, your punter. Sam Martin, Deontay Hardy will probably be the returner of Ty Johnson. Again, can't go as a kicker returner. And, of course, Reed Ferguson is your long snapper. All right, what I want to see from the Steelers offense is the interior of the offensive line getting off the line a yard upfield in 2 or less steps to get Najee and Jalen set up for success as well. Because, again, it's going to be freaking snowy. There's going to be something on the ground. If this offensive line can, again, create some sort of get off where they can get upfield faster than that defensive line can also get upfield, it'll be a lot easier for these running backs, Najee and Jalen, to see the blocks start to form and actually diagnose what is called the run fit and actually be able to get into a hole quick enough before they get tackled in the backfield. And also, they'll probably break some tackles as well. And again, it just gives a complete advantage to you guys in that running game. Mason not fumbling would be really nice, and as well, George Pickens over 100 receiving yards is probably the biggest thing for them, though. Because, again, at some point, it's going to be a big third down. You got to have someone make a big play. George Pickens is that dude. I want to see him have a 100-yard day in his first ever playoff game. Meanwhile, for this defense, Alex Highsmith meeting the pulling guard. He's got to be able to get there because, again, that's really what this Bills shotgun run game is built off of. Getting that pulling guard into space where he can build a block upfield so that what's called, whether it's James Cook or what is called Leonard Fournette, are able to get upfield a lot easier. If he can meet them there and make it really hard for those running backs to, again, get upfield as well, it'll be a lot easier for this defense to stop that running game. As well as Joey Porter Jr. harassing Stephon Diggs. Again, if he just completely mauls him, again, shows some physicality early. Stephon Diggs will not be running the same routes by the fourth quarter. As well as under 450 yards allowed. Again, I'm okay with them giving up some yardage because, again, they're going to at some point. But they keep them under 450. I really think they could have a decent shot. Again, 400 yards is still not good to give up. But I could see this defense still giving up over 400 and being okay. Again, but over 450 at that point, they're going to get blown out. So, again, I'm not going to completely put it all on this defense considering they don't have T.J. Watt. But, again, if this offense is able to move the football well, again, on the ground and also chew up some clock, they give up a big play here and there. It's not the end of the world for this defense. Now let's look at the Bills. Obviously, offensively, you're trying to make sure that, again, the Steelers aren't the first 7 seed to ever beat a 2 seed. So, again, for this Bills offense, Josh Allen hitting his back foot and letting it fly in under 2.5 seconds would be optimal for, again, the offensive line. As well as James Cook running for over 175 yards. Again, in the snow, you really need a running game. He'd really help. And as well, no one getting hurt because, again, this is a game you should win. Will you? Again, it's still a playoff game. If no one does get hurt, I think, again, if you're able, I don't think if anyone gets hurt, and obviously you're able to do these other 2 things, should be fine. Defensively, though, stack the box on 1st and 2nd down. You cannot give them these soft looks because they're going to run the ball down your throat. And, of course, Micah shaded to George Pickens as well. No big plays allowed from him because, again, it's going to be probably like a 10 to 15-yard throw there from Mason Rudolph through the air. Again, if Micah's over there, not only could he get a pick 6, he could also make it really hard for George Pickens to, again, get open on those sides consistently. As well as inside leverage from whoever's on Deontay Johnson, guys. He's going to try to run to the inside of the field all the time. His only, I think, big play on the outside of the field was that one, I think it was like back in like week 10 or something. They don't give anything up there. I think the Steelers, this Bills defense will be fine. Again, nothing big to Deontay over the middle or George Pickens. Again, they should be good. But with that said, let's get into our next game, which is Super Wildcard Weekend. We got the Packers and Cowboys. Oh, baby, the Packers own the Cowboys. And, of course, Jordan Love's first playoff debut against Dak Prescott for the second time in his career playing against the Packers in the playoffs. First time was his playoff debut as well.
Super Wildcard Weekend on Fox. The next chapter in this historic rivalry is set. Dak leads the boys in a legacy-defining game.
Game of this Super Wildcard Weekend Sunday triple header will be a great one. Yup, it is the Packers, of course, coming in at 9-8, and of course the 7th seed in the NFC with that win last week in Lambeau. And it will be their last home game of the season because, of course, they are the last seed in the NFC. But the Cowboys, of course, the 2 seed, were able to clinch it with a dominating, and I mean dominating win over the Commanders last week, 38-10. And obviously, this is great for them considering that if they are 8-0 on the season at home, they have won 16 straight games at home. And with their win in this game, they will have home field next week as well. Again, this is a Cowboys team that is averaging 37.4 points per game at home. Dak has been significantly better there, as well as this defense. So, again, coming into this game, the Cowboys are just, again, they're expected to just completely pound the Packers, who, of course, have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. But, of course, their offense, led by Jordan Love, they're big time. And, obviously, the history with these 2 teams in the playoffs, and even last year, tells you otherwise. Obviously, this game will be at 4:30. It'll probably start later than that. I'm not gonna say too late like last year, where it was like near 5 o'clock. But this game could start at like 4:45 or like 4:40, somewhere around there. That's my guess, considering whatever happens in that the first game, that'll be around at like 1:05. But this game kicking off the NFL NFC playoffs. Again, this will be the first NFC game in the wild card picture. But this game will be on Fox Deportes, Fox Sports app, NFL Plus, again, as well as, again, the Fox Sports app. It'll be on anything Fox, basically related. Again, Fox NFL Sunday starts at 4 o'clock. They'll also have the post game for this as well. And now, announcing this game will be Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, Aaron Anderson, Tom Rinaldi. It will be Fox's, of course, #1 team, because this is the only game they will have on Wild Card Weekend. Of course, they'll have, I think, 1 game in the divisional round, and then, of course, the NFC Championship. So, moving very well, the Cowboys could be in that too. Again, they have very high expectations. But obviously, the Packers, when Dak and Zeke Elliott were a rookie, again, not Zeke anymore, but basically when Dak Prescott was a rookie, the Packers went into Dallas and knocked them off when, of course, Dallas was a 1 seed, and obviously the Packers ended up losing by a lot in that NFC Championship, but at least they still got there. Who knows, maybe they do the same thing again, because that would be kind of crazy. But Jordan Love, he's big time as a rookie. It would be crazy if they came in here and won, but who the heck ever knows? If there's a guy to do it, it's going to be Jordan Love, considering how he's bounced back this year. Let's look right into Packers' projected starting lineup, though. All right, for the Packers, Jordan Love at quarterback, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon is doubtful, so you'll probably see a lot of Patrick Taylor and Emmanuel Wilson. backing up Aaron Jones in this game. Christian Watson is questionable, but I'd be surprised if he does not play in this game, considering what he did against the Cowboys last year with 3 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks are the other receivers, though, as well as you'll see a little bit of Bo Melton, too. Samir Torre is on IR, though, as well as Nuke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, who's probably going to start a little more in this game at tight end. Rasheed Walker, Elton James, Josh Myers, John Runyon, and Zach Tom are the normal offensive linemen. Of course, you got David Bakhtiari and Luke Tenuta on IR. Kenny Clark, TJ Slay, and Devontae Wyatt are their defensive linemen, with Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary off the edge. Lucas Vaness is also there. You got Quay Walker and Devondre Campbell at linebacker. Jair Alexander is questionable. Keyshawn Nixon, Robert Rochelle, Carrington Valentine, and Benny Sapp the third are at corner. It's pretty shaky. Darnell Savage, Jonathan Owens will be at safety, with Anders Carlson doing the kicking. The punting will be done by Daniel Willman. Jaden Reed and Keisha Nixon are their returners. Maybe he brings one back, as well as Matt Orzik doing their long snapping. And for Dallas, Dak Prescott got at quarterback. Cooper Rush is questionable as his backup. Rico Dowdle, Tony Pollard in the backfield. Deuce Vaughn, David Durden, Sean McKeon, Josh Ball on offense are on IR. Of course, you got some other guys on IR as well. Receiver-wise, though, there's CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup. Jake Ferguson at tight end. Hunter Lubicki is your fullback. Your offensive line has been healthy all year. There's nothing much different there. DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler Jr., Sam Williams off the edge, with Jonathan Hankins and Oso Odigizua at defensive tackle. Jamal Clark, Marquise Bell, and Micah Parsons at linebacker. Stephon Gilmore, Jordan Lewis, Nashon Wright, and Deron Bland at corner, with Donovan Wilson and Jalen Kearse at safety. Again, he's been playing really well the past couple weeks. Brandon Aubrey, Brian Anger are your kicker and punter. Your returners, Kevontae Turpin, and Trent Sieg is your long snapper. All right, for Green Bay offensively, Jordan throwing for over 220 yards and three touchdowns, like Aaron did back in 2017, as well as Aaron did last year when the Packers beat the Cowboys Lambeau 31-28. I think is a very big factor in this game. They're gonna have to score points. I think that's a big way they can do it. Obviously, that was back in 2017 when that divisional round game took place. All to Christian Watson, too. Get him the football. Again, you have other receivers, Jordan, but it's got to be to him. He's the guy who, again, he went off against the Cowboys. Make him hurt again. The other, Aaron needs to get 120 for a long game clincher. Again, this game, if they're going to win it, it's going to definitely come down to the wire. Again, if Aaron Jones is going to be the guy to do it, he's got to at least get 120 total yards, and also he's got to have a long run, to clinch this game. And don't get behind the sticks in the first quarter. If that happens, you're screwed. You're not going to have any shot against how this Cowboys team wants to attack you, which, of course, is with that pass rush. You get behind, they're going to start really revving it up, and then you have no chance after that. But for this defense, don't give up 50. I'll put it like that. They give up 50. That's a lot of points. Don't give 500 yards to Dak, and maybe you have a shot. I'm going to be honest, because this Packers defense, I have really no expectations for in this game. Worst case, they get completely killed. But, guys, it's still a successful year for this Packers team that, of course, is the youngest team in the NFL. But if this defense is somewhat not god-awful, they might have a shot. Let's be honest. But, of course, I'm freaking still picking them. Now let's do the Cowboys. And for Dallas, Dak finding guys on his first read, even if they're in a rough space, which of course means it's not the most greatest yardage situation there. If Dak's able to just get it out to him, it'll be really easy for him because, again, at some point they're going to have some big plays from that. Tony Pollard breaking at least 3 tackles. He's got to be better there. Again, he hasn't really been able to do that all year. In a game like this, he's got to really put down the hammer with that. Tyron and Tyler Smith bullying guys at the shoulders and up. Again, that's really just attacking them there. These D linemen do not handle those types of techniques well at all. So again, if they're able to really get into their drill there, it'll be really hard for the Packers to attack. Packers D linemen to really penetrate at all. And no choke jobs in the fourth quarter. Of course, what I mean by that is what happened in the last time you guys played at home in the wildcard round, or even in the whole playoffs. Cowboys defense, get ready for Aaron Jones. He's going to really bring it. And again, he has bullied you guys at times before. Just don't let him do that. Of course, Deron Bland on Christian Watson as well. Again, Deron Bland, I get last year he didn't really get a shot to be on him. I think he will be this year. He can definitely keep up with him. It'll be very interesting to see what Christian Watson can do over the head of him, though. And obviously, a sub-90 rating allowed on deep balls as a defense will probably keep them in this football, keep them from, again, out of any danger, considering how Jordan loves to throw that deep ball. Again, if they take that out of his game, it'll be really hard for this Packers offense to move the football a lot, which obviously is what the Cowboys want. That's really all I got for them, because now it's time for the storyline and the game of the week, guys. It's Sunday Night Football. Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit. Jared Goff getting revenge on his former team. Lions playing a home game in the playoffs for the first time since the dinosaurs, looking to win the game for the first time and even longer. Well, not longer, but yeah, you get the point. Sunday Night Football, wild card. Matt Stafford returns to Detroit. Let's go. Perfect. Can't get any better than this. cap off the Sunday triple header will be, of course, a Sunday night showdown between the Los Angeles Rams, who were earned the 6th seed in the NFC, against the Detroit Lions, playing their first home game in 30 freaking years. Of course, they are the 3 seed in the NFC, tying their NFL, their franchise record with 12 wins on the season. Of course, they did play their starters last week, which might cost them something. Of course, with Sam Laporta being questionable for this game. Obviously, though, Jared freaking Goff will be running their offense against Matthew freaking Stafford. These teams played back in 2018. Flipped the sides. Rams won that one 30-16. Of course, the Lions have come so far from then. Same thing with the Rams. They've gone through a hell of a lot since then, too. That was at this point, 6 years ago. So, no, five and change. But, yeah, more like 5 years. But whatever. Of course, Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit for the first time. Only the second time these two teams have met since, of course, that infamous trade. And obviously for the Lions, they did lose that game 28-19 in Ally, but they did put up a really good fight. It wasn't like the Rams dominated them or even at all. It was a close game for most of it, until, of course, Jalen Ramsey saved the Rams. But the point is, this is about as good as it gets in terms of storyline for a game. This game is going to be great. It's going to be a shootout. I hope the Rams obviously win, because if they don't, well, my predictions are screwed like they usually are. But also, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be really sad. But obviously, it is on a Sunday night. The game will not start at 8 o'clock. This is complete BS. The game is going to start at the normal Sunday night time at 8:20. Again, Football in America, though, I think because of like some broadcasting rule, will be on at 7:30. Because, again, they don't want like people tuning into it before the Cowboys game is over. So, that makes sense. But, maybe it's a blowout, they start earlier. But 7:30 is when Football in America will start. This game will be on NBC Universo. NBC Sports app, obviously Peacock, of course, and NFL Plus. Again, it's Sunday Night Football, basically. This game's going to be so freaking good. Oh, I can't wait for it. But, obviously, though, announcing it will be the normal Sunday Night crew with Mike Tirico. Damn, that really sucks. He's got to go from freaking frigid Kansas City to, it doesn't suck that he has to go to a dome, but he has to travel all the way north. Oh, God. That sucks for him. He's just a freaking trooper. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark with... Obviously, this game being so big, again, we'll see what happens. It's the first time Matt Stafford goes back to Detroit. It's set on the table, guys. This game is ready to go. Oh, God, it's so good. Time for the Rams projected starting lineup. All right, before we get into the Rams starting lineup, I just want to put this out here, guys. It's the day I'm filming this, January 12th, was the 7-year anniversary of the Rams. What is it called? Hiring Sean McVay as their head coach, making him the youngest ever coach to ever be hired in the NFL, head coach. And obviously that was probably the best decision the franchise has ever made, and it's not even close. But obviously, Sean McVay is no longer the youngest coach in the NFL. With Jerod Mayo, former 10th overall pick, he was a very solid linebacker in the 8 years he did play with the New England Patriots. Of course, then he became a coordinator, not coordinator, my bad, an assistant coach in 2019. Later become the linebacker coach. He is basically Bill Belichick through and through. He is the Patriot way. He's probably the best successor to, of course, Bill Belichick, just considering how he played football. No mistakes. Don't make any mistakes. Work your butt off. And I think, yeah, he's probably the perfect guy to represent the Patriots at this point. Obviously, Bill Belichick did, they didn't kind of got fired, whatever. They moved on from him, and obviously, it is Jerod Mayo now, 37 years old, becomes the youngest coach in the entire NFL, of course, with ending Sean McVay's 7-year run of being the youngest coach. Again, no control for Sean McVay, but yeah, congrats Patriots, you got your guy, but we'll see what he can do. And Sean McVay, you're no longer the youngest coach in the league. You can't be called that anymore. But whatever. Looking at the Rams, though, obviously Matt Stafford, quarterback. Carson Wentz is his backup. Stetson Bennett, again, he's not playing. Kyron Williams, Ronnie Rivers in the backfield, as well as, I'll probably say Royce Freeman might get a couple of carries. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Demarcus Robinson, and probably Tutu Atwell receiver. Tyler Higbee's questionable for this game. Davis Allen, Bryson Hopkins are the backup. You got Hunter Long, Sean Jolly, both on IR. Of course, you got let's go. Joe Noteboom and Kevin Dotson are both questionable, 2 starters to get big guys on the Rams offensive line. I think, why isn't Alric Jackson starting? Whatever, that's kind of confusing. Steve Avila, Brian Allen, Rob Havenstein across the rest of the offensive line. That's really, yeah, why isn't Alric Jackson starting? I'm very confused by that. He's been good this year. Not great, but he's been good. The Jordan Williams, Kobe Turner, of course, Aaron Donald across the defensive line. Bobby Brown, questionable, is a little concerning. Byron Young, Michael Hoyt off the edge, as well as Christian Roseboom and Ernest Jones, linebacker. Troy Readers, also questionable. Kel Witherspoon, Darion Kendrick, Duke Shelley, and Kobe Durant at corner. Of course, you got Jordan Fuller questionable. Russ East is his backup, as well as Quentin Blake at free safety. Brett Maher is their kicker. Their punter is Ethan Evans. Austin Trammell is their returner. Carson Tinker's the long stopper with Alex Ward on IR. And for Detroit, Jared Goff at quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is his backup. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, as well as Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Josh Reynolds, the receiver. Khalif Raymond will be out. I will not put it past anyone saying that Donovan Peoples-Jones can't bring one to the house. Either as a returner, which would be my guess. I guess they're not. Yeah, he'll be the returner as a punt returner, or even in the even the actual offense. Sam Laporte is questionable, obviously. Brock Wright is the only healthy tight end right now, of course, with Jalen Mitchell out. Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, Graham Glasgow, and Penei Sewell are the normal offensive linemen. Of course, Matt Nelson, Halba Vita, and Shane Zelstra, as well as Donovan Knight and Knight Sudfeld are on IR. Ali McNeil, he's actually back. My bad. I forgot he's back. Completely just my bad. Aiden Hutchinson, Romeo Cora, Josh Pascal, and John Kaminsky, who's questionable off the edge. John Kaminsky's actually been pretty good this year. Yeah, he only has 2 sacks, but good run defender. Benito Jones and Le'Veon Wazurki are the other defensive linemen. Of course, you got Jack Campbell, Alexander Zaloni, and Derek Barnes at linebacker, with Cameron Sutton, Brian Branch, Khalil Dorsey, and Kendall Villador at corner. C.J. Gardner, Johnson Kirby, Joseph at safety. Of course, Jerry Jacobs will be out. Emmanuel Mosley still on IR, as well as James Houston. Michael Badgley is your kicker, your punter, Jack Fox. Again, Donovan Peoples-Jones will be doing your punt returning duty. Of course, Scott Daly on IR. Jacob Quaid is another former Ram at long snapper. Of course, Craig Reynolds also there. All right, Rams offensively, Kyron going for over 4.5 yards per carry and 100 yards. Again, he's going up against a really good run defense, but again, he's been able to do something against these guys in the past. Of course, being against the against the Browns and the Ravens. He's got to have a big game on the ground in this game, in my opinion, obviously. He's the engine of this offense. Cooper Kupp saved it up for games like this. Again, some games you saw he wasn't giving it 100, because, again, if he did, he would be dead the next week. Cooper, this is the type of game where you got to be big time. Puka staying within himself. Again, he's a rookie playing in his first playoff game. We do not need him, trying to make circus catches or anything like that. Stay within yourself. Make the plays when that you get. Obviously, Cooper, for playing his first game in Detroit as well. He's never played in Detroit. And the guard bullying the defensive tackles of the Lions. They've got to do a good job with that. If, again, they don't bring that physical presence early, guys like Ali McNeil will completely wreck this game. Defensively, though, absolutely no big play miscommunications. Again, if someone just straight up gets beat, that's one thing. But, again, the safeties got to stay back. Kobe and Aaron being hyped against the power sets, which means, again, they're going to probably run the damn football, which means those two guys just need to completely bully them, just be, like, freaking crazy up front. And Byron Young using a quick chop and burst on third for consistent heat. Again, he will get pressure if he uses that. I guarantee you, he's just too athletic, too good to not. I really want to see him do that because, again, if he can really get that going, he'll probably get a couple sacks in this one. Now let's look at the Lions. And for Detroit, again, they're going to probably running the ball for 200 yards. Will give him a really good shot at controlling this football game. Jared Goff for over 302 touchdowns against his former team would be optimal. Amon-Ra St. Brown with 10 plus targets too. He's their dude. Get him the football. And 3 plus 40-yard plays for explosives. Again, will not only set up this running game, but also give them a good chance at getting at these corners, which do get worse if you do beat them once. Defensively, Aiden going bonkers. Again, he's their only hope in terms of passers up front. Yeah, Lee McNeil's great, but he will get double teamed a lot. Aiden's got to go crazy. The secondary, just playing deep. I mean, if they can't give anything big downfield, if they just play deep, I guess. Alexander Lane covering the deep middle as well. Again, you really want to say, have him stop the run, have him fit these run gaps, have him manage these holes. Yes, but Jack Campbell can do the exact same thing and also make up for it for being a little more athletic than Alexander Lane, because, again, he's a little younger, obviously, as well as just straight up better tackler. So that's what I want to see from him. Again, Alexander Lane really, he's more important in this sense because again, they need somebody to help over in coverage. Alexander Lone's got to do that. And obviously, the inside zones are all about Jack Campbell in this game. Even if he doesn't stop it, I don't think it's the end of the world. Because, again, if Alexander Lone's playing deep, it'll be really hard for this Rams offense to get some of the looks they want. That's really all I got for the Lions, guys, and that's all I got for this huge game. Time for Monday, and, of course, the Monday Night Football Super Wildcard. Oh, yeah, guys, the worst game in the league will be on Monday Night Football, and it's a Super Wildcard, as every ESPN network will basically have this game. Yup, it is the Eagles and Bucs rounding out the Wildcard round. And the Eagles travel to Tampa, of course, to face off against the Bucs in what will be a wild card rematch and also a Monday Night Football rematch from way back in Week 3, as it does round out Super Wildcard Weekend. Of course, it is the Monday Night Football Super Wildcard, the third year the NFL has had this. Obviously, the Bucs coming in at 9-8 did win the NFC South. Obviously, with that shutout win over the Panthers last week in Carolina. Eagles, they are still the 5 seed, of course, starting the season 10-1, but obviously with both these teams not ending the regular season the way they wanted. Simply, the Eagles have been just probably one of the worst teams, if not the worst, playing football team for, again, their expectations over the past 6 weeks. Of course, losing 5 out of their last 6, similar to the Arizona Cardinals, 2 years ago. And I would not be surprised if the Eagles get sent home by this Bucs team in a big way. Of course, again, this game will be at 8. It's not going to be at 8. That's when the kickoff show is going to start. The Super Wildcard, Progressive, whatever the hell they call it, is freaking ridiculous. But just bringing you into the game. But this game will be on ESPN and ABC, as every Monday night game outside of the triple headers have been. And double headers. NFL Plus, ESPN Plus, the ESPN app, ESPN2. It's everything ESPN. Of course, the countdown starts at 6 o'clock on ESPN. I think NFL Live's at 4 from the location too. So it's going to be a lot about this game, obviously, going into it. But again, this isn't the best game of the weekend by any means at all. I'd be surprised if either of these teams actually get past that divisional round. But someone's got to win it, obviously. Of course, looking at it though, announcing this game, of course, will be Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters. It will be ESPN's obviously #1 team. The weather in Tampa, it's going to be 67 degrees, so not the greatest. Light rain, a little wind, nothing crazy. So, not the greatest weather for this game. Similar, probably that weather back in week 3 when these two teams played, which was the Eagles really the only dominating or dictating win of the season, where they knocked out the Bucs 25-11, in which their defense did not give up a touchdown until garbage time in the 4th quarter. Jalen Hurts did struggle, did throw 2 interceptions, but also found Alameda Zaccheaus for a 39-yard touchdown. Maybe we see a similar type of game like that, but I'll be honest, guys, this Bucs team is ready to go. They smacked the Eagles in the wild card round 2 years ago. 31-15. See if they can do it again, even though that was with Tom Brady. They got Baker now, though. I think he's ready to cook, win his 2nd career playoff game. Let's get right into the Eagles' projected starting lineup. For the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is questionable, so you'll see Marcus Mariota, I guess, if he can't go, but there's a very good shot he's going to play. DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott in the backfield. A.J. Brown also will probably play. Worst case, though, Devontae Smith, Julio Jones, and Alameda Zaccheaus will probably try to cook this secondary. Britton Covey is questionable, though. Of course, their returner. Boston Scott's the kick returner, if you didn't know, though. The offensive line is all healthy. Dallas Goedert at tight end. Roderick Johnson, Albert Okwuegbunam, 2 backups are both on IR. Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick off the edge, as well as Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis at defensive tackle. Hassan Reddick had a really slow end of the season. Yeah, he did have 11 sacks, but definitely not the same season you're used to seeing from him. Zach Cunningham, Shaq Leonard, not Hassan Reddick, I don't know, Patrick Johnson, Nolan Smith. They'll figure something out at linebacker. Of course, you got James Bradbury, Darius Slade, Avonte Maddox, and Kelly Ringo at corner. Sidney Brown's out. Reed Blankenship is questionable. So again, neither of those guys could go. I would probably put my money on Bradley Roby playing free safety, of course, with Kevin Byard at strong safety. Jake Elliott is their kicker. Braden Mann is their punter. Of course, Rashad Penny, again, I guess will be their punt returner if Britton Covey can't go, as well as Rick Lovato doing the long snapping. And for the Bucs, obviously, you got Baker questionable, but again, helpful play. Rashad White, Chase Edmonds in the backfield. I didn't know Rashad White only averaged 3.6 yards per carry, but I guess that's what happens when you get the 2nd most carries in the league. But after that, obviously got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer, receiver. Kadon at tight end. Tristan Wirfs is questionable. Justin Skoll, I doubt he'll play, but you never know. The rest of the offensive line is as always healthy. Kalijah Kancey, Vita Vea, Logan Hall are the defensive linemen. Yaya Diaby, of course, the rookie. Shaq Barrett, Anthony Nelson, and Joe Tryon off the edge with Devin White and Devontae David at defensive tackle. KJ Britt is questionable. Jamel Dean, Zion McCollum, Christian Izine, and Carlton Davis are at corner. Of course, you got Josh Hayes questionable. Antoine Field Jr., Ryan Neal again are the safeties. Chase McLaughlin is your kicker. Your punter is Jake Camardo. Devon Tompkins is your returner, and Zach Triner is your long snapper. All right, Eagles offensively, Yak is your friend, bro. Please get the ball underneath. Stop trying to fit it over dudes' heads. Get it underneath. Simple. Lane Johnson, 7+ edge sets on the outside zone in the 1st quarter. Please do it from under center, though. Again, Lane Johnson's great at doing that anyway, but guys, shotgun outside zone is the dumbest thing in the world to run. Please stop. 10+ targets on Ryan Neal. He's allowed a perfect passer rating this season, which is just, that's pretty bad. So, go after him a lot. And obviously, stay away from Antoine Winfield Jr., because whatever happens there is just bad. Don't even think about it. Defensively, though, make Baker win underneath. If you make him do that, he'll have a tough time, figuring out the windows he'll have, because again, when he can get downfield, he's a lot better. Rashad White run under 5 runs over 8 yards allowed. It's a couple, if you give a couple of those, but obviously you have him in, he's not gonna like churn yards out of you. Again, he's not gonna really break anything big either. I think he'll have a good shot at stopping him like that. Nichols and Rose, sub 85 rating in flat zones. Again, he's got to be really good there. Again, whether it's just straight up making tackles or knocking balls away, he's got to be effective. And as well, James Berry not giving up a touchdown would be nice too. He gave 11 in the regular season, which is just terrible. Please don't do that, bro. Time for the Bucs. You know, for the Bucs offensively, Mike and Chris for over 200 yards in the first half. They've got to go off. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, those two guys got to be big time. They weren't in that Week 3 game. Part of the reason they lost, but more importantly in this one, those just guys got to freaking show up. Tristan Wirfs, 3 or less pressures allowed. It would be very nice if they could just simply not allow it. If you can't just simply allow nothing. But also he'll get some really big blitzes on him. He's got to take advantage of those. And also, again, be big. Baker over 400 yards on the night. Again, if he can really show up in 35 points, they can do this. The Bucs defense, the Eagles defense sucks. Please do this too. Defensively, no crap play from the slots. Again, they got to figure out some way to get whoever the heck's rotating in there to just do something, which is really all that they need. Their edge rushers understanding that straight up fits, they'll get. Again, that's what the Eagles offense is going to do to you. Basically saying, we're just straight up better than you, even though they're not. So, obviously, take advantage of that. And Jamel Dean with a pick 6, change momentum. I don't really care. Do something like that. But Jamel Dean, again, if this game gets a little close, him getting a pick 6 would be a really big help. And that is all I got for the preview of course, the 2024 NFL Super Wildcard weekend. Hope you guys enjoy all the games. And, of course, see you for the recap on Tuesday. Yeah, you're going to have to, unless something crazy happens in the Sunday night game, good chance there's going to be no video because I'm going to be away. So, until then, enjoy all the games, and yeah, see you on Tuesday.
On the fake, Rodgers lets it fly, has Watson, he's got it on his feet, and he's in for the touchdown! That might be the biggest catch of this young receiver's career. Christian Watson, you can see him, it's just press man. They talk about his speed, his ability to get behind the defense. It's just a matter of can he catch it. That's a great job tracking the ball.